Bad Therapy. This book by Abigail Shrier is a much needed criticism of my own field, my own profession, about what is wrong with our kids and their mental health. So here are some of my takeaways. I think there are some good and some bad in this book. I think some of it's an overreaction, but here are some of my key points to take from this book. Number one, pop psychology is ruining our kids' mental health. There is a huge difference between what is popular psychology and what is actual psychological theory, okay? For instance, being coddled for your negative mood and having every single feeling validated is not what we would teach in cognitive therapy. In cognitive therapy, we teach that there are these things called cognitive distortions where your faulty thinking creates faulty beliefs and faulty emotions, and sometimes your emotions can create faulty thinking and vice versa. So sometimes this requires you to challenge your thoughts and feelings because they are not valid and they need to be challenged and changed. Number two, teachers, therapists, school counselors are not responsible for your child's emotional intelligence. It seems that a lot of parents feel that they can just drop their kids off at a therapist to fix them. But listen, parents are the ones who should be teaching children how to grow up to be responsible adults who know how to interact with other human beings in a respectable way. And you cannot just expect a therapist or a teacher or a school counselor to fix your kids' problems that you did not properly teach them to interact with other human beings throughout the process of you raising them. Sorry about it. That's not our job. Number three, we need to let kids fail more. You want to know what the best way to let kids cope with failure is? Let them fail. Kids learn how to cope with failure through experiencing failure. Protecting them from both physical and emotional pain is actually hurting them, not helping them. They learn to grow in resilience through experiencing that pain, not through being protected from it. And we are raising a generation of kids who are just being straight up wimpy, honestly, and getting kicked in the face when they experience real life because they've not grown the muscles that they need to through the pain and through the workouts of going through those experiences in childhood. Number four, therapy can actually sometimes be harmful rather than good. Now, I usually say that everyone can benefit from therapy. Everyone needs therapy. And I believe this. It's kind of like everyone needs to go to the doctor for a checkup. But therapy does have the potential to be harmful to some people. And the book reiterates this over and over and over again. And the reason for that is because if you are generally a healthy person mentally and you go to a therapist, it has the potential of making you develop a victim mentality and believing that you have some problem when in general, you're a resilient, healthy person. And so you can adopt this mentality that there's something wrong with me when really you're doing pretty good, dude. Lastly, therapy is not as effective as we think it is or as it should be. We have more mental health treatment than ever, and yet mental health problems are still on the rise. So this is a really big critique of my own field, and honestly, it's needed because we're just not doing as good as we should be doing, and there's something wrong. So we need to do better. And that's hard to hear because you expect if you go to a therapist, you're going to get better. That's not necessarily true. And the reality is there's a lot of bad therapists out there, and we're really just not doing what we were taught in graduate school. A lot of therapists just kind of chuck all of that out the window and just do whatever they want. They just kind of chit chat with you in therapy, and you need to find a really good therapist that actually does good work.